Once again, I'm on the affirmative side that we should increase the amount of H-1B visas given out every year. They will benefit us in so many ways in medicine and technology. Just like I mentioned in my previous speech, in the article of Why They're Broken and What We Can Do by Solomon Michael, he mentioned the example of how we had a Microsoft employee who was here working here and they had H-1B visa, but then we denied it and we had to send them back home. And then they made their own $7 billion company. We could have had that if we would have let them stay here with an H-1B visa. Now, when people think of immigrants, they're thinking of people who are just like working on the streets or just trying to take our jobs that we Americans want, but in reality, Americans don't want most of the jobs that immigrants work. For example, in an article called A Farmer's Perspective, Immigrant Workers and Their Critical Role by Deborah Husso, she explains how, despite a popular misperception, cheap labor is not what drives the region of the country to employ so many immigrants, documented and undocumented. Bunds estimates 70% of the Salins Valley annual harvest is collected by undocumented immigrants. Other growers in the valley claim the number is even higher. What to spur the hiring of immigrant workers is that most longtime residents in the area don't want to work in the fields. Bunn says strawberry pickers in the valley, for example, typically earned $1.20 per case. A good picker can pick 100 cases a day. He says that translates into a wage of $120 a day. During harvest season, it's back-breaking work. Bunn acknowledges and farmers like him have suggested that's why native-born citizens are inclined to apply for it. So in other words, no American citizen is jumping to take this job. This job is exactly 70% of immigrants and even higher. And this is a recent study of a 2020 case article. Now, I know my opponent has mentioned how they're taking all the jobs that Americans want and need. According to this article, they're not. And immigrants are also helping us out in medicine and technology. Now, another example that I mentioned before my last article is how 10,000 doctors were on the H-1B visa plan. Now, why should we take that back when they're actually helping us and benefiting us? I know my opponent was mentioning something about how we need to increase border security and how immigrants are just causing problems. But in this case, we're talking about giving out H-1B visas. So that's another way of giving them a green card without giving them a green card. So we're trying to help them out to keep them to stay. And then if you apply for the H-1B visa, you have a college degree or you have high school education. That's the way you get one. So we're not talking about any immigrant that we find on the street. We're talking about those who actually took the time to apply for this, who are paying out of their pocket to get the education in order to work here and make their lives better and benefit us, whether it's in medicine, technology, or even working in jobs that nobody really wants. Another topic my opponent has mentioned um, is how we have to pay for them, like in case of emergencies, like hospitals, how the Obamacare. Now, if a U.S. citizen has the benefits of living here all their lives, how come immigrants who are working hard to stay here and pay for their way into life not have that same help as well? That just doesn't make sense because Americans should have enough money to pay for actual good for good hospital care. Now, going back to my plan about the loans, it's not exactly, oh, like you're an immigrant, here's money. You're another one, here's money. We're giving it to those who actually need the money to pay off either classes, schools, or housing because they're working here, they have actual jobs. We're going to keep track of them just like we keep track of all of those who have H-1B visas. Now, yes, getting the money will be a little complicated, We will go to companies and ask them if they like to contribute or be an investor in this company, or we just have families of immigrants help donate. Now, we don't need billions of dollars to start this. We just need a little bit to start the process and help us out to give out money to those who actually need it. Um, it's just like any other loan company here in the US. You don't know if you can trust them to pay you back. It's the same thing as H-1B visas, but in this case, since there's limited H-1B visas, we're actually keeping control of how many people we're giving it out to, and it's just one place that we will be doing it. So it's not like we'll lose control of it. Now, once again, we should eliminate the cap to help out not only us, but those who actually want to start a good life here for them and their families. Thank you.